What's happening? 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 Welcome to the Chosen Not Taken Show. I am your host, Real Roy, aka Chosen Not Taken. Choose your life. Don't just take what it gives you, man. That you already know what I'm asking you for. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the vibe. We on our way to 1 million, on our way to 5,000, whichever one come first. And you know that's just what it is. Well, check this out. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. And I just want to have a conversation with you, man. I want to have a real conversation with you. Are you afraid to date? Like we could play, we can joke, and we always can act like we got it all under control. But I just want to know one thing. I got a question for you. Are you afraid to date? Are you afraid? It's okay. You know, the Bible say for God did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. I understand. Being single for almost 7 years, I can admit that I'm afraid to date. Yeah. And the reason why I'm afraid to date is because I'm afraid of the dating scene now. Let's not get into gender biasness and start pointing the finger. Let's not do that. Let's get into the nitty and gritty. Let's talk about how on both sides there's more negatives than positives in today's time. I hate to say it, it's the truth. From women, this is from women claiming that they have to be more independent. They have to boss up because men will not be protectors and providers. Until men saying, having the misfortune of not knowing what it looks like for a woman to submit to him. From men hearing that, but from men having women tell them that they don't make enough money. They telling you that you don't make enough money in a society to where the average black man makes around $70,000 a year. $75,000 a year, excuse me. What exactly are we supposed to do? We got men that say they don't want a woman with children. Got a woman that says she don't want a man with children. We got so many stipulations. But as I've been sitting here thinking to myself, you know what? The reality of it is we're just all afraid. We're afraid of falling in love and losing everything. Let's just keep it all the way transparent. To fall in love and lose everything. We've seen so many cases to where people have lost everything because of a bad relationship. And I know you're going to say, oh, that's not me. That never happened to me. But the person that has lost everything was exactly just like you. They said that they would never be that person. You'll never become that person until you become that person. Let that resonate with you. Let me tell you something. As long as you're afraid to date, let me show you some of the signs that go along with it. You're easily to cut people off. Yeah. You have no tolerance for anything. Another reason to show you that you're afraid to date is the fact of the matter is that anytime you feel like you're getting close to someone, you start self-sabotaging. All because you're afraid to date. See, acknowledging something gives you better footwork on how to improve something. But if you never acknowledge something, you'll never change it. Let's just put this all in perspective. We live in a time to where if you look at the internet, everything tells you to be toxic. Everything tells you to be toxic. Nothing tells you to be a good dude. Nothing tells you to be a good woman. Because when you turn on the internet, all you see is good women being mistreated by men and good men being treated bad by bad women. That's what you see. And to say that that does not get in your psyche, you're playing with yourself. You're joking. Me personally, I can admit that I was afraid to date. No cap. 7 years single. Come on, man. I'm 38 with no kids. I should not be single this long. But this is what's going on in today's time. This is what goes on in today's time. It's just easier to stay single. That's our motto right now. It's just easier to stay single. Valentine's Day passed by. You don't have to buy anybody nothing. You don't have to have no attachment to anybody. When you're afraid to date, you look at everything as a positive. We don't see the negatives of not dating. And being afraid to date, that's just a reality. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It's just that you're accepting where you are. The question is how long are you going to be afraid? It's like once you fall off the horse, you got to get back on the horse, or you're going to have a complex about riding the horse. And I think that's something that I and a lot of us have ran into. We fallen off of the relationship horse, and we're afraid to get back on it. And it's okay. It's okay. Take your time, because you don't want to make irrational decisions, because when you start dating and you start getting involved with somebody, now you're playing with your life. You got to trust that person. You have to let things grow naturally and let that person come into your world. You have to make this decision. And then you have to realize, is it worth it? We can always find a reason not to do something. We can always find a reason not to do something. But to find a reason to do something is so much harder. Let me show you why that's so much harder. Because your reason has to repeat itself when you find something that you want to do, or find a reason to do something. It has to repeat itself. It got to be so powerful to where it makes you hold on to it. And that's what makes a relationship a relationship. And as long as you got that fear is the false evidence of things appearing real. False evidence appearing real. Fear. And you're afraid of dating. So this is what I want you to do. For number one, acknowledge that you're afraid. Number two, face your fears. And number three, this is what I want you to do before I go. Number three, be willing to overcome your fear. Well, look here, man, that's my video for today, man. I hope you really and truly enjoyed this. The question of the day is that, are you afraid today? With that being said, I'm about to get ready to get up off of here, man. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Hey, man, you know what I need you to do. Like, comment, and subscribe to The Vibe. I got 3 things before I go. God loves you, I love you, and if we keep loving each other, the world's going to be a better place. One love.